This is Jackie with All Access, and I'm here with Courage My Love at New York stop of Vans Warped Tour. Ladies, we talked last at CMJ in New York, way back in October. A lot has happened with your band since then, so fill me in. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, that was like our first time playing in the States ever, so that was great. But yeah, we've done a United States tour since then, and now we're doing this tour, which is, the other tour was sort of more the, I guess the eastern, was it east? I guess, yeah, the eastern states, and then this one's just all over the place. It's our first time on like the full Warped Tour, and we've been writing and recording, and just, I don't know, being crazy, I guess.
So that's got to be quite a trip to go from all relative. It's been less than a year, so to go from playing your first show in New York City to playing on the East Coast to jumping right on. Are you playing the entire Warped Tour?
Yeah, whole thing. It's crazy.
So you really need to check out this band because they are amazing, and obviously you're making this huge jump. So Kevin must have a lot of faith in you, and I would agree with him. So tell me about the recording process for you.
Well, okay, so right now we've been writing for a few months, and we're just trying to get our songs together. We've been writing on this tour as well when we have downtime as much as possible, so that's great. And we're hoping that as soon as this tour is done, we can go back and hit the studio and start demoing, and we want to put out a new album in the new year. That's our goal. We always have a date in mind, but it's always ended up being later than what we want. So I'm not going to say a date.
We never want to say like exactly because like it's like, oh yeah, it's coming out in November, and then it's like 2 years later it comes out. So I don't know. It's like it's coming out sometime soon.
I think the songs are really cool. It's like a little more out of the box than what we would normally do, and I feel like just because we're older and maybe now we've got a little more confidence now that we've toured more places and we've seen what fan base we have in certain places, it's like we're not afraid to try new things, and I just really like the direction that's going so far.
What inspires you when you're writing songs?
A lot of different stuff. I mean, like, we generally kind of stick to writing about what we know, like about things that have happened to us or to friends or just even, I don't know, I shouldn't say that though. Like sometimes if we just feel really strongly about an issue, we'll write about it. Even if we've never experienced it before, we just feel like we need to say something about it, so we write a song about it. But just basically anything that we feel needs to be written about, we want to write about.
Sometimes they just tend to flow out, so it's hard to say sometimes what they're about until the song's done, and then it's like, oh my God, I love you, Mom.
Yeah.
Like, so much happens.
Yeah,
so it's like therapy for us, I guess. Yeah.
It's like way cheaper than therapy. It's awesome. It's sweet.
There's a quote I happen to actually have tattooed on me. It says, "Music is the medicine of the mind." So I totally agree with where you're coming from on that. Here at Warped Tour, there are hundreds of bands playing. How do you make sure that you leave a lasting impression in fans?
I don't know. I think just be really down to earth. Make sure that when you meet your fans, even if you're having a rough day, just make sure, like, they came out to see you. They spent money to buy tickets, or if they wanted VIP passes or whatever, they spent all that money just for you. They bought your CD, they bought your merch, they came out to your show, and there's, like you said, there's a million other bands that they could choose from. So just, if you want to make a lasting impression, I think the two best ways to do it are put on a great show live so that everyone knows how good you are, and not to sound cocky or whatever, but like put on a really good show. And then when you meet people, make sure that you ask about them. You're like, oh, what's your name? Where are you from? Thank you for coming out. And just make sure that you let them know how thankful you are.
It's really weird because, like, on this tour especially, I've seen people, they'll have meet and greets, but it's like, no photos, or like I don't know. It's just really, they have all these weird rules. And I think that kind of, I mean, I can see why people might want to do that, but I think it kind of ruins it for the fans because, like, they came and they spent all this money and they're expecting to take a picture with you, and it's like, what is such a big deal? Who cares if you're sweaty or gross? Like, doesn't matter to them. They just want to take a picture.
Got rained on. So we're, it doesn't really
so
matter.
I don't know. I think that kind of, if you make yourself more accessible and make it so that people can actually meet you and, like, talk to you, and if they have questions about lyrics or anything, they can just come to you. Like, I think that really leaves a good impression on people because they can get all their questions answered and all that.
And you made a good point too. I hope fans understand too that sometimes when a band has a rule, it's not the band's rule. Sometimes it's someone else's rule.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes it's even like the tour manager, or it's especially if bands do signings at certain tents.
Yeah,
You know, then it might not be the band's choice. It might be someone else. So.
Especially at Warped, it might just be they're doing signings because, and they're making it as fast as possible, which is why you can't take pictures.
And some bands have like crazy long lineups too. So unless they want to be there all day, you kind of have to like speed it up. So
It's
I don't
rough.
know.
So I hope you fans out there do understand. Don't take it out on the band, but do support.
We're lucky because we're not famous, so we can
don't
talk
have
as
to deal
long
with
as we
that,
want. It's all good.
Oh, they're so humble. What some fans, many fans at Warped Tour will come out for merch. Is there some great merch that you guys have, or something unique that you've seen another band have out there?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed by all the designs of the bands that I've seen so far. It's just crazy. I want to step up my game. My favorite merch item that we sell is probably this new EP that we just put out for Warped Tour. We did with the Keep Abreast Foundation. So we only sell it for $5. It's an EP full of B-sides that didn't make it onto the last one. So to everyone else, it's like new songs. And then we sell it for $5, and we give away $2 of each EP to the Keep Abreast Foundation. So we only printed 1,000 copies, and it's like a shaped CD. So it's super unique, and it's for a good cause. And that's probably my favorite item that we have.
It's crazy. I saw Biebs and her Moneymakers. They have hot sauce that they made themselves. So I don't know. I think that's a pretty cool merch item. I want to get it. Yeah.
I hope it tastes good. Or maybe it's just not to eat, it's just to have.
It's hot sauce.
I tried it at lunch the other day. I tried it at lunch, and it was actually really good. So
Do they have it at catering?
they just left a bottle there. So I was like,
That's awesome.
yeah, no, it was good though. It was good though. Yeah.
That's a top secret for Warped. If you find it and it's out, you can have it.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
It's up for grabs. If it's just left there, you can probably just.
I'm probably just going to take it and put it on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Not
I
tell
don't know.
anybody.
So why was it important to work with Keep Abreast? Because our website merges music with the causes and charities that bands support.
That's so cool. Well, I mean, we love working with charities because I was just saying in the other room that we're a band that we really like to use our message and our influence because, if you're in a band, people look up to you and your fans are impressionable and stuff and they respect you. It's good to use that power for good and support those kinds of causes and give back. So we'd heard of the Keep Abreast Foundation a long time ago, and I was always super into what they were doing and raising awareness and all that sort of stuff. And then we found out that they were on the tour, and so we thought, okay, this is a perfect opportunity to talk to them and see if there's anything we can do. And we just had those B-sides lying around waiting to be released, so we thought, well, if we're going to release them, we may as well pair it with something worthwhile and, get something more out of it than just release these songs.
Yeah.
And everyone in our band knows someone who's suffered from breast cancer from some way, shape, or form. So it's like a cause that we're passionate about, and we're just happy to help in any way.
That's a really great way to, like you said, those songs were just sitting around waiting to be released, and now you've gotten to do something extra good with them. So that's definitely good. What are your opinion of bands that charge fans for those meet and greets that you talked about? Like VIP experiences and signings and stuff.
I understand it's an extra way to make money, and like we were saying earlier, it's like some bands have so many fans, it's just crazy. But I do feel like I wouldn't do it no matter, like even if we got really famous, I wouldn't do it because I feel like it's sort of taking advantage of people a little bit.
It's like, what's the point? Like, literally, someone could meet you on the street. Like, would you make them pay money if they met you on the street to take a picture? Like, who the hell do you think you are? Like, charging people? I don't know. I could go off. Like, I have like really strong. No, anyway, but like, I just think it's the stupidest thing ever. I would never do it.
Yeah,
Like,
I definitely wouldn't do it because
Yeah.
I see it as a favor if they come to you.
Yeah.
They've already, like I said earlier, they bought your CD, they know who you are, they gave you the time to check you out, and there's so many bands in the world. I think it's a favor if they come to you, so I wouldn't charge, for sure.
I'm not trying to get you in any trouble. Don't worry. Don't worry. What is your opinion of crowdfunding sources, sites like Indiegogo and Kickstarter? Would you consider using them for a project or anything like that?
For sure. I mean, I think we used something like that. I forget which site it was, but before we went to Japan, we used something like that, and I think it's awesome. I think like it's a little different from the whole taking pictures thing because fans want to help you, and they want to. If you're funding a project like a new CD or a tour or something, they with those campaigns they normally get something back, like prizes for the highest like tippers and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's a fun way, and plus especially if it's pay what you can, then they can decide how much they want to give, and it makes them feel good about themselves.
And generally for those things, it's like you're typically like giving away something. So like when we did it, we gave away this recording of a cover that we did. So people like, I don't know, either they just want to help you or they just want to hear the cover and they'll like pay however much they see fit, right? So I don't know, it's a bit different, but I don't think it's bad necessarily. I think it's good.
Especially if the fan can choose how much they want to, and then it's like what goes around comes around. So they give us something and we give something back, for sure.
They get to see you on tour.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Another
and
thing.
yeah, anything, whatever it is that they're funding, like an album or a tour or a video, it's like it just helps so much, and then they get it back too. So
Yeah.
And we said earlier that a lot has happened in less than a year. What's up next for Courage My Love after Warped Tour?
We're like we said, we're recording and just writing and doing all that crazy stuff right now, and like that takes up a lot of time. But then in November we're planning on doing another US run, and I don't know exactly what the dates are. Like we're still kind of routing it.
I
But
think it'll be around the same territories that Warped Tour has been covering so far. So I know we've got a few California shows already booked, which is awesome. But yeah, we're just doing another states tour, and all the dates will be up on our website soon. So yeah.
I have a feeling you're going to be busy for quite a while.
I hope so. I hope so.
So stay tuned for more from Courage My Love. This is Jackie with All Access and In the Key of Change.